Before starting, I would like to thank our Madam Principal for permitting me to do this program. I thank our Head of the Department, Madam Mrs. P. Selvi, for motivating me. Once again, I thank you, Madam, for permitting me, allowing me, and most importantly, having faith in me. Once again, I thank you, Madam. Thank you.
Every thought you produce, anything you say, any action you do, it bears your signature. Respected professors, research scholars, and my dear students, this is Mrs. N. Nagapushpam, Assistant Professor of English, Arulmigu Padaniyandar Arts College for Women, Padani, Dindigul District, Tamil Nadu, welcoming you all to a short-term course on English Net Set examinations focused on literary theory. National Testing Agency (NTA) is all set to conduct University Grants Commission National Eligibility Test. Every year, thousands of candidates apply for the examination throughout the country. Aspirants put so much effort to prepare and take the examination. For people who are not very aware of why such examination hold much importance, it is important to note that after qualifying National Eligibility Test, it opens many doors for growth and opportunities. The importance and state of competition of the exam can be interpreted by the fact that every year approximately 10 lakh candidates appear for the exam and only top 6% of candidates are able to make it to the final selection round. Considering the fact that thousands of candidates appear for the examination but is not aware of all the aspects of the examination, they miss out on a great opportunity. To assist such candidates, thousands of offline, online assistance options are available which looks for qualified candidates to help these aspirants with their knowledge and experience. As now, all of you know that having a valid score in the UGC NET can actually help you build a reputational dream career and air well as well, and it is important to note that exam is tough and the competition is higher. Guided UGC NET preparation will ensure you a high score. I am profusely overjoyed to take an opportunity to introduce the resource person of this day. It's none other than Mr. Vineet Pandey, India's leading expert teacher guide and YouTuber who has cleared 8 times NET, double JRF and 17 SET exams. Launching his own brand, Sahitya Classes, Sir is providing classroom teaching at his institute in Delhi, while online teaching is also available for the students who cannot come to Delhi for classroom coaching. He is also running a YouTube channel for his coaching, which has already crossed more than 229 subscribers. Vineet Pandey, who is 8 NET, double JRF and 17 SET exam, says it is the devotion and commitment to one's target is actually the key to success. Any other principle is just an illusion that only deviates you from your path but provides no solution. His objective is to spread the word of clean and strong foundation for the new education system. It's a great honor for me to introduce and welcome the resource person of this startling, beautiful day. Finally, I thank the persons who stood beside me in the successful completion of this program. Hereby, I extend my sincere prayers to Lord Muruga to shower his blessings on us and make this program a successful one. Thank you.
Welcome students, a very good morning to all of you, all the students who are from AP College, Tamil Nadu. This is Vineet Pandey. I have qualified NET for 8 times, I have double JRF and 17 state SET topper. Do you know that I also appeared in 2015's Tamil Nadu SET exam? My center was in Chennai, Kaidia Millet Women's College, and I was the topper. Now, I have been contacted by Professor Mrs. Nagapushpam and she asked me to deliver a lecture on literary theory. I'll ask you a question. How many of you are scared of literary theory? How many of you feel that literary theory is something very tough, it's really hard to understand and go through these things? We generally study literary theory following the foreign writers, Peter Berry, Raman Selden and others. but the other writers, they never wrote literary theory from Indian point of view. The problem dealing with literary theory is that most of the teachers in India are following the Western writer's book and are not explaining in proper way. This is the reason that Mrs. Nagapushpam, she contacted me to deliver a lecture on literary theory, and I will be live very soon. Now, for this lecture, I have been supported by the Principal Madam, Dr. N. Pavaneshwari, and Organizing Secretary, Mrs. P. Selvi. And I'm also thankful to each and everyone from AP Arts College. I, Vineet Pandey, will see you live. Stay connected. God bless you. Take care.
Vanakkam everybody, this is Vineet Pandey, your friend, your coach, your net guide. I am recording a video lecture in Chennai, and you see me. I love South India. Chennai has a nice location. I love the roads. Well, this is a message to all of my students, especially sometimes they come with the questions that what is the basic difference between net syllabus and set syllabus. Well, there are a lot of states, they conduct set exam, and I'll give you a separate approach how to qualify set exams. So first thing we have to remember here that there is a big gap between set and net exams. So when primarily you're studying for set exams, you have to remember certain things which are not only important, in fact the crucial things. Well, let's be serious. So this is a video, and we are going to talk about theories, literary theories. So guys, first thing that we have to remember about literary theories, as I told you in my last video, I have certain points here to be remembered. How do you start literary theory? So let's start it from the zero level. First of all, do not go to the literary theory if you have no idea. If you have no idea about literary criticism, so study Plato, Aristotle, Horace, Longinus. Then we have Ben Jonson, Dryden, Pope, Matthew Arnold. In between we have two romantic critics, Wordsworth and Coleridge. The easiest way to understand criticism, make a list of romantic critics, a list of classical critics. So when you make a list of romantic critics, you'll find only Wordsworth, Coleridge, Keats, Shelley, Thomas Locke Peacock, and Longinus, being a classical one, has certain qualities which can be related to classics, romantic critics. Then we go for Aristotle, Plato and others. So we have two separate streams. And studying criticism, you'll realize that it is not tough actually. In fact, in classical criticism, everybody is saying the same thing, but they have different approaches. Matthew Arnold calls it touchstone. Pope says that we should imitate classics directly. Horace says that keep the book with you for 9 years and follow them, imitate them. Well, when you come to T.S. Eliot, he is the first writer in the tradition of classical writings. He follows the classical imitation but does not underestimate the individual talent. And this is how T.S. Eliot becomes a link between the criticism and the first theory, neo-criticism. Well, neo-criticism came to prominence in 1920s when I. Richards gave assignment to his students to analyze a poem which had no reference, no writer. The students were around 20 to 25 and they came with certain different perceptions. So I. Richards was surprised to see that the students, those who have no idea about the writer and the pattern and the reference of the work, how did they study, what logic they applied. And this is how they started neo-criticism. He realized that while we study a work or a piece of literature, we relate it to the name of the writer, the biography of the writer, the age, and then we get biased. No, I'll make it easy for you. What if I ask you to read a book written by Charles Dickens? Now you are a literary student, you have studied for NET exam, for JRF exam. You know that a book written by Charles Dickens will definitely deal with poverty, unemployment, company issues, industrialization. And I give you a book written by Chetan Bhagat. So I am giving you a book by Chetan Bhagat, but I am telling you that the book is written by Dickens. What will you do? You'll start studying it from Dickensian point of view. What if I say, guys, I am giving you Wordsworth today. This is a piece of work written by Wordsworth and you read that. And what if I give you Wasteland? You will be imagining that Wordsworth, yes, romantic critic, romantic writer, must have discussed about rivers, mountains in an easy language. So the poetry will be very easy. And then you get Wasteland, and what is that? It's not Wordsworth. Now still, you cannot come to me and say it's not Wordsworth. You will have to trust it because I have given it to you in an exam. So you'll have to, and what we people do generally. Yeah, the poem appears to be very romantic in nature, this and that, this and that. Guys, you must have done comprehensive study of unseen paragraphs, unseen poetry, in fact in NET, in fact in 10th, 12th and graduation other exams. What do? When you have no idea about the paragraph, we try to know who is the writer. Once we get the writer, we start writing bullshit. Oh, that is written by Keats? Yeah, the imagination is there, the escape is there, the melancholy is there, this and that, this and that. So these writers, they questioned this and they said, we should no more focus on the referential studies. Like a book or a piece of work should not be related to any writer's biography. For example, you're going to the NET exam. And somebody comes with a paper. Oh, this is the paper. This is going to help you. It is written by one Bollywood character. You're going for NET English literature. The exam is of NET English. And somebody says this is very important pamphlet written by some Bollywood actor. Will you take the paper to read for your NET exam? No. What if somebody says this is written by Vineet Pandey, me, 6-time NET, double JRF and including Tamil Nadu set, 9th set exams. Will you deny this paper before the exam? I think 90% still will take it. Why will you take this? There's just a paper. No, you will take it because it is related to me or it was related to a Bollywood artist when you denied it. Means you did not go to the content of the paper. This is the writer's reference, character's reference, and you got biased that it is by Vineet Pandey, that it is something important, it is by Bollywood actor, it is not important. That is the part of new criticism. So this question, they say that we should not study a piece of art in any kind of reference which is extraneous to the text. Well, I won't be able to give you all the details of new criticism, but I'll suggest you this, that how formalism and new criticism help to develop other theories. In new criticism, they started studying the content on the page. There are certain theories that you have to remember: intentional fallacy, affective fallacy, hearsay of paraphrasing. These are most important ones. The writers, and they call it close reading. Like new criticism is, this is just a piece of work, a paper, no writer. Closely analyze the words on page, read the words on page, and do not study it in any reference with any writer. This is called close reading, explication deep texte, T-E-X-T-E, and T.S. Eliot called it lemon squeezing. Well, formalism simultaneously appeared and people started studying the form of the text. New criticism was studying the context, the content, and formalists started studying the form of the text. They started questioning what is the form, the paragraph style, the metaphors, similes, everything. So gradually, these two theories got mixed up and they had two of their streams, Russian formalism and French formalism. Russian formalism said that piece of paper is not complete. In fact, it is an arrangement where the words are written. There are certain statements. To understand one statement, we have to read 5 more statements. For examples, I give you one statement. Ram is a great boy. Then there are 5 more statements. Ram is honest, Ram is hardworking, Ram goes to college regularly, Ram donates money. Now, in the second piece of paper, I say, Ram is a good boy. Again, the same line. Ram doesn't help anybody. Ram never attends a school and college. Ram is a bad boy. Ram is not regular. Now, you have two different papers dealing with Ram, where one statement is Ram is good, another statement is Ram is good. 5 statements are supporting first statement. Here 4 statements are denying the first statement. In both of the papers, what is your actual meaning? This is what Russian formalists say. Viktor Slovatsky, Boris Eichenbaum and other writers like Roman Jakobson. They simply say that piece of paper is an arrangement of sentences on page, and these sentences, they mutually signify each other, they are in relation with each other. These sentences, they reciprocate for each other, and then the meaning is drawn out. Well, They also say that a language is always the interplay of two types of languages: primary order language, secondary order language. Now, you'll be surprised. What kind of primary order language? What kind of secondary order language? Well, have you ever heard like this kind of thing that please give me the dictionary of primary language, please give me the book of secondary language? No. I'm sure you have no idea about these things. Well, primary language and secondary language have no difference. It is just the context. The context is based on time. For example, I'm sure all of my viewers, how many of you have entered in a public transport bus? You must have boarded buses, right? When you board the bus, conductor generally says something to you. What does conductor convey? What does he say? The bus conductor says, move on, go. In Hindi it says, aage badho. Keep going, because he needs more passengers to enter. Have you ever felt like that? Wow, oh my God. See, the great man conductor, the bus conductor told me, aage badho, go on, keep going. And that's a great message in my life. Wow. And when the family members, your father, your mother, your teachers, your elder brother, elder sister, when they say, keep going, aage badho, do they want you to take a step in the house? So one teacher says, keep going, keep moving. One conductor says, keep moving, which has a deeper meaning. Well, I'll make it very easy for you. Guys, yeah, this is not a professional video, okay? I'm very, very friendly to you guys. I simply believe in real things, so I'm being very normal. Write a sentence in your copy, you can write that. Change can't be given to you every time. You must bring the change. That's a great statement. That sounds. Change can't be given to you every time. You must bring the change. A statement by Mahatma Gandhi. Now take a minute. Read the sentence. What do you think? What's the message? What can be the message? Gandhi ji is saying something great. You will say yes. Gandhi is saying that the change in society cannot be given to you as a gift. You must work hard to change the society, to change your condition. Right? That? Okay. Change the sentence. Change the name of Mahatma Gandhi. Just write it. Change can't be given to you every time. You must bring the change. And now this is any hard-working auto wala, the auto rickshaw driver, any hard-working auto rickshaw driver. What's the message? Change can't be given to you every time. You must bring the change. Kripya paise khule dein. Lose money. You'll be saying, whoa. One sentence, two guys. I gave you two names. Why did I give you two names? I gave you two names to make your thinking biased. So the moment I used Mahatma Gandhi, the name of Mahatma Gandhi, you thought, oh my God. So Gandhiji is actually a great man, and whatever he says, it's a quotation every time. And auto wala is supposed to be illiterate, so if he says it's like he does not deserve to say a big statement, like that, because we are the part of society. There is a social construct of meaning. One sentence, two different contexts, two different meanings, one deeper meaning, one lighter meaning. But remember this thing, auto wala can give a great statement and Mahatma Gandhi could talk to any auto wala. So that's the context actually. So here you have to remember the difference between the primary order language, which is a language to communicate, and secondary order language, a language which has a meaning. The critics of Russian formalism, they simply believe that if you have no idea how to differentiate between the language of primary order and the language of secondary order, we can simply use the alienation effect of wordings. Make the words look alienated. Do not use common vocabulary, common words in language. What will happen, actually my language is Hindi, so I'll give a Hindi example, I'll explain in English. What will happen if you go back to your families and you start addressing your mother, your father in a very pure Hindi language? Mata Shri, Bhratashri, Pitashri, and you use big Hindi words, Sambhavnaye, Paramparaye, Parakastha. Well, I said it in English. When you use your language, what if you use highly dignified language in a circle where you are generally using very normal dialect? So all of a sudden, when you speak to your family member, you use your normal language, but all of a sudden you have started using highly dignified words. They'll get concerned. What is this man doing? Is he studying literature? That's why he's gone. That will happen. Well, there's a quotation, not a quotation, actually a joke. A Hindi professor went to cycle repair company, some cycle repair shop. He wanted his cycle to be repaired. So what did he say in Hindi? And the response of that cycle mechanic is an example of alienation effect. I'll speak in Hindi. This is Hindi actually. So he went to the cycle wala and he said, "Hey द्विचक्रीय वाहन सुधारक महोदय, अपने द्विचक्रीय वाहन सुधारक," he said, "द्विचक्रीय वाहन सुधारक महोदय, मेरे द्विचक्रीय वाहन के द्वितीय चक्र में वायु का दबाव कुछ कम प्रतीत होता है, इसलिए अपने वायु ठूसक यंत्र की लिबलिबी से कुछ वायु ठूस कर मुझे अनुग्रहित करें." And the mechanic was like me. What's that? He said, "You appear to be a gentleman. Why the hell are you begging?" He said, "Bheek mat mango, aage badho." What's the difference? He spoke Hindi. Mechanic speaks Hindi. But even in Hindi, he used highly dignified words, which was not referential, which was not canonical in the particular context. This was the reason that mechanic tried to understand, but he could not get the actual meaning, and he took that there is something very alien. That's how you study Russian formalism. Then we switch to French formalism. Ferdinand de Saussure, the greatest Swiss linguist, scholar, he came with this idea of sign, signifier, signify. The semiotics. He said that no doubt you people are studying language, statements, words, but every word has a different meaning. Every word has a different meaning. And it is totally depending on the context. So when you're studying a context, you relate it with the word and then try to decode the actual meaning. Now many of you will get concerned, how is that possible? First, we have sign, we have signifier. Signifier is actually an, the kind of context, the actual condition. Like if you're in school, the signifier is everything related to the school, the time, then your mindset. And signified is the result that what did you understand? Well, I understand, sometimes theory becomes tough, we don't understand it. So actually I switched my AC off to record because there is some sound problem. So I'm perspiring. Well, only pigs sweat, men perspire. So let's be back to the theories. Sign, signifier and signified. Saussure's semiotics. How many of you have read this? Pen is mightier than the sword. This pen is mightier than the sword. See, I'm very friendly actually because my idea is to make you understand what is literary theory. So, how many of you believe that pen is actually mightier than sword? Raise your hands. Yes, it is true. So, sign is pen. Sign is pen. And we have heard lots of stories that it is mightier than the sword. Well, now the whole context is that you are actually in the middle of a war representing an army and you have a pen in the battlefield. Signifier is battlefield. And the signified is you dead. Are you going to use pen in front of the sword in the battlefield? See, look at this, it's so small. You can't even throw it. You got it? It is sign. It can be mightier than the sword when the signifier is, which is arbitrary,